Naturists taking part in this year's nude beach games at Byron Bay have managed to avoid the police crackdown that meant they had to move on from their Noosa location last year. The games feature egg and spoon races, and I kid you not, sack races, and three-legged races. Incredibly. And it went off without a stitch, so to speak. But naturists say the games are also a good chance to raise awareness that they still face safety issues when they go to the beaches that are clothing optional. Jamila, do you nude up?
Oh, God, why me?
Do you nude up?
No,
do you like it?
No, only in the privacy of my own home, I promise.
Really? Why not?
I don't know. I think because society has told me it's better to go out with my clothes on. Having said that, you know, these kind of games bring a whole new meaning to the idea of ball sports and, you know, good on them.
Nick, are you more of a sack race man or is your pet event the three-legged race?
You and Jamila can get away with these gags. I can't. I just wonder, you know, we were talking about the police policing this. Do the police have to go nude on these beaches too?
I have no idea.
Is that the equivalent of plainclothes policing on a nudist beach? I don't know.
Do you think, though, that we are becoming a bit more prudish? We're sort of hearing about crackdowns on nudity, local councils facing pressure to get rid of nudist beaches.
Yeah, we got this sort of safety culture, you know, the idea you can't do it because there's some safety issue involved. You know, if we cut out everything that was unsafe, I mean, you know, we'd just be locked in dark rooms under the table, wouldn't we? No, I just think people should be able to get on and do it. And looking at the people on the screen, they looked old enough to take responsibility for their own actions, really, I thought.
But, I mean, you know, freedom of choice, all that kind of thing. Surely this is something that is central to our understanding of who we are.
Live and let live, providing you're not providing you exercising your freedom doesn't disturb somebody else's. And I can't see that a bunch of old codgers taking their togs off on the beach is going to really do much harm, do you?
Peter, any harm in it, you reckon?
Look, I've only ever had one experience of public nudity. It was back in my days editing a student paper, and a group decided that we would nude up with masks of newspaper proprietors. I think I was a very buffed up Rupert at the time.
Yeah, right.
What I remember was everyone took it off, we got in close, it was cold and very awkward. So I think that the idea of nuding up is often a lot better than the reality of it. Yeah. When it comes to nude sports, I'm very pro-uniform in my sports. I like to know what team I'm going for, and I'd like to know that if there is a slow motion replay, I can actually watch it with the family.
Jamila, one of the things that cropped up in our discussions with the producers today was that, you know, we actually live at a time where there is a sort of, it seems to be a tendency against this sort of thing, a lot of pressure, as we say, on local councils to shut down nudist beaches. Yet at the same time, you know, we live in the era of social media and, you know, dick pics and all the rest of it, people sharing that kind of thing freely. Are we sort of finding ourselves in a new reality whereby we're less comfortable being naked in real life, but perhaps more comfortable in a different way?
God, I had no idea where that question was going to end up. It was a little bit terrifying. I was waiting to be asked if how many pictures of penises I'd been sent online. I think there's a whole bunch of questions there. I mean, it's central to this has to be A, safety, and B, consent. And I think once you've got those two things, giving people a little bit of freedom if this is how they want to express themselves, that's a really good thing. And I genuinely think that we can balance the interests of freedom with the interests of consent and safety on the other hand. And, you know, these guys seem to be doing it. They look like they're having a ball. I don't particularly want to participate, but have a great time.
That was a very sensible answer. Very quickly before we go, Nick, I noticed those images going out on television earlier today, not blurred. Later in the day, they were blurred. Is that also too sensitive, do you reckon? Well,
probably. I mean, look, at this time of day, you never, you know, you don't want, you've got to be mindful of who's watching. But I tell you what, does this mean, you know, some of us think there's not enough sport on the ABC. Does this mean the ABC is going to take this up and start televising it? That'd be a great thing.
Exclusive rights.
Well, Foxtel will get a grand.
I reckon they'll be going cheap. That's it. Who knew our panellists would all be so pro-nudity?